Hey folks, so it's officially Monday. It's officially Monday, whatever date that is. I think it's May 9th today, May 9th. And you may not be able to notice it, or you may from the drapes in the chair here, but we are officially back in Bangkok. We're back in Bangkok. So we took the flight out of Siam Reap this morning, 11:55 flight on AirAsia into Bangkok, and I have to say that was well worth the money. Anybody who wants to go to Bangkok or goes to Siam Reap from Bangkok or Bangkok to Siam, whatever it is, I would definitely say take a look at low-cost carriers, especially AirAsia, because it makes life so much easier. Again, doing the flight today was one of those things where you just sit there and you have to shake your head at all, like I say, the local business people, those little minibus drivers that try to screw people over to get money out of them. Because I'd say, our flight today, it was $80 before luggage cost. And so it was $100 each person one way. And it was done in an hour. Like the entire flight from gate to gate was an hour. So doing Bangkok by minibus would have been about 8 or 9 hours. And the thing is, like when we did the Pattaya trip, it's one thing if it's like $30 and it's 9 hours. But I think all told, once they got done scamming us at everything, I think it cost us like $75. Because again, we paid a decent amount of money for the tickets themselves. I think we paid, I think we paid like $50 to $60 for the bus tickets or whatever. And then there's this mandatory thing in order to get a visa where they take their cut out of that. And they take this cut and that cut and the other cut. And so I think once it all came out, it was like $75 for this long-ass, pain-in-the-ass trip that was incredibly stressful, versus $100 just to do the little low-cost airfare. Again, this is what I try to tell you folks in life. We all talk about inequality and divides and all that kind of stuff. Is like so many times folks just screw themselves. Because again, until that whole thing going from Pattaya to Siam Reap, I wasn't somebody that was a huge fan of the idea of doing budget airlines. But you know what? Now that they got me to do it, I can't see why I wouldn't do it that way in the future. Again, like you come to someplace like Bangkok, $100 for any of these flights. So $100 from Bangkok to Siam Reap, or $100 from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, or $100 from Chiang Mai down, or from Bangkok down to whatever, Phuket or someplace. And you just look at it, and one, it's not that much less expensive. Again, it's not like there's these huge cost differentials. So if it's not that much less expensive, and you can do a 9-hour trip or a 10-hour trip in 1 hour, and there's no weird little con artist crap in the air. Again, like I say, if you're flying from like Cambodia to Bangkok, it's not like you hit the border in the air and then, we've got to stop at whatever so we can scam you. So it is an interesting thing there. It is an interesting thing just to ponder in life. So we took AirAsia, and again, like I say, I do have to give it a thumbs up. It's definitely a brutally budget airline. Again, $80 one way, and I don't think you get any luggage at all. We paid the extra $20, so $100. $100 one way. I think it was good. We got on the plane. The planes were Airbus. I don't know how old they are. They're definitely well used. I mean, they definitely use those things like a bus. But other than that, they seem relatively new. The staff seem fine. The only thing with it is they kind of charge you for everything. So like if you want a drink, they charge you. If you want food, they charge you. And so since I had prepaid for the extra luggage, that allowed us to have some food. And the food was buy something beforehand, because it was like a cup of water, and then they gave us like these sandwiches. But it wasn't even like a full sandwich. It was like an Asian sandwich or something. So you're like, But that was the only thing that I saw with it. And especially, like I said, if you're only going to be an hour in the air, who the hell cares? It doesn't, you don't need fancy entertainment systems when you know, you're barely in the air long enough to bother about going to the bathroom. Other than that, it's just still going to be a short video today because I'm still getting over my deli belly. Oh, brutal. Brutal. What the hell? I got deli belly in Siam Reap. What the hell? Indians. Those Indians. Went to an Indian place, got that kofti stuff. So I feel better. I feel better than yesterday. Yesterday was brutal. Yesterday was one of those. I basically was in bed all day, in and out of sleeping. Brutal headache. Today, thankfully, the headache's gone away. But I've been getting these stomach cramps every once in a while. I just get these brutal stomach cramps. So I was okay with traveling. I was okay with flying. My wife was asking me that. She was like, you know, are you okay with flying? It was kind of one of those things. Like, dear, I want to get a hell of a lot closer to a hospital, I trust. Let's say, I don't know whether I'm okay for flying. I'm okay for getting closer to a good hospital. Because that is one thing. Like I say, if you're a normal person, if you're a normal Thai person in Thailand, I don't know how the medical system does for you. But I do know for a fact, lots and lots of international people do come to Thailand because for international folks, for Western folks, you can get really high quality treatment for a fraction of the price. So if I do have anything really bad and horrible, I would rather be here. Because basically when I was in Cambodia, I talked with some of the Cambodians, and I was like, you know, about medical care. They're like, go to Bangkok. And again, if you're in the Western world and you're talking about like how horrible our country is, and again, I'm an American, so yes, you should always hope that things are better. You should always demand better. But just to put things in perspective, imagine if you lived in a country where the people in that country said if you wanted medical care, you should leave the country. It's not like, oh, you need to go to our capital, or oh, you need to go this way. They're like, leave the country. You're like, damn. Oh, I'm just saying. So yeah, the other thing I didn't feel bad with having the stomach flu. I was worried with flying, like when I had the cellulitis. I was worried about flying simply because that was like swelling. So when your foot already swells to the point that it starts bleeding a little bit, I was a little worried about, you know, pressure stuff on the foot. That's why I wouldn't want to have flown then. But like with this is just good old-fashioned stomach flu. So if I'm going to be half delirious and miserable, I'm not really sure if it matters if I'm in a bed or in a plane seat. You know what I'm saying? So Delhi belly ain't a joke. Holy Christ. Yeah, if you come to this area of the woods, especially go to Cambodia, just be careful of the food. You know, so something that people asked is like, well, how do you take a look at food hygiene? One of the big ways you take a look at food hygiene, honestly, is you find the places that have the most people eating in them. Because I got a little lax, like I say, being in Thailand, and Indian food doesn't seem to be the most popular in Thailand. There's a lot of Indian restaurants here, oddly enough, but it doesn't seem to be the most popular food. So, but I got used to here. I ate at a lot of Indian places, and they're all clean. Like I say, because Thailand has this big thing about hygienic food. That was the thing, is, you know, them being in Siam Reap, there were restaurants where they had lots of people eating lots of things, and then the one Indian restaurant I went to, there weren't so many people there. So, and that's not just like snarky, oh, if people aren't eating there, it means it sucks. But it also means how quickly they're processing the food through. So like I say, I ate a kofta, whatever, it's like this milk, this cheese thing. And so the thing is, if fresh dairy products are coming in and fresh dairy products are getting used, then it's pretty okay. Problem is fresh dairy products come in, and then they're not getting used, and those dairy products are pretty damn expensive, so they don't just want to throw them away. They might stay there past what many of us would consider their expiration date. So the big thing that I would say is you stay away from places that don't have a lot of people in them. Go to places that are fucking packed. Packed with people is good. And then it kind of goes back to that whole Whole Foods thing I say a lot, which may seem odd because most of these foods are technically whole, but is basically the food that you eat should look like it did when it was plucked or whatever. The more stewy they make things, the more stewy it is. The more chance there's weird stuff in the stew. And then the other thing that I will say too, my wife has a heart attack when I say it, but fried stuff is also good. Because basically if they deep fry something before they give it to you, frying kills a lot of stuff. And again, I will say my wife has been eating basically lots of fresh fruits and all that, and she's been okay. So you can do that too. But those are some of the things just to think about with the food hygiene. The big thing is go to places where you see a lot of people eating there. Because again, the big thing is so much in life. It's like water. It's like water. The faster it flows, generally, the cleaner it is. The more stagnant it is, the worse it gets. So again, you go to a restaurant that's packed all the time. You know, food just has to be going through there. So there's less chance you're gonna get what I have. Oh, this fucking sucks. So, yeah, I haven't eaten a lot of solid food in a while. So, yesterday, I don't think I ended up eating any solid food at all. So yesterday, I didn't eat any solid food. The day before, the last meal I had was at lunch. So I missed dinner. I missed all yesterday. Then this morning, I had a little bit of breakfast. I had some bread. and some fruit. The hotel we were at gave us breakfast, but that's all I could eat. I could just eat the bread and the fruit. And then I had lunch. I had some juice for lunch. So I'm thinking maybe I'll try to have a little more solid food for dinner. But I don't know, because I mean that was the thing. Like even this morning, once I had the solid food for breakfast, what I did have, I had one of those like gagging attacks. Like I went into the toilet, right? So I'm a little on the food thing, because that's all day I've been having it. I was telling my wife, it's kind of like that faux sneeze of vomiting. You know how you just stand there and be like all of a sudden it's kind of like, you know how you want to sneeze but you don't? It's kind of like the same way with vomiting. Like, nope, I'm good. Nope, I'm good. So, so that's how it is. Food poisoning sucks. It's funny. I was going to do this big long, I'm not going to do much more, but I was going to do this long video today because I thought I was going to feel better about perspective. And it is kind of funny with perspective, like even on the same trip, because my wife and I have been talking about this trip, and I've been kind of like down on the trip. It hasn't gone to plan. And ironically enough, that she's been talking about, she says, "Oh no, it's actually been a really." She thinks overall it's been a really good trip. She wasn't overly impressed with Pattaya, but Bangkok and Ayutthaya, Siam Reap, she really loved. So she was like, "No, I think this is a great trip." And it was funny talking to her, and it was like, well, the reason that we have a difference of opinion is I had this idea of all these other places that we were going to go. But then the other thing is I think out of 3 weeks, I will end up having spent 1 week on bed rest. Because again, like I say, with the foot thing, that was 4 days? 4 days on bed rest. And then this, yesterday was bed rest. Today wasn't much better than bed rest. So yeah, it's all about perspective. It's all about, but the one person that's trotting along all healthy thinks it's all wonderful. The person that spent a third of the time in bed, not so much. But that is just how it goes. This is how it goes in the real world. And again, one of the reasons why I like doing videos like this, like even when I am sick, I don't like the fact that I am sick, but I like the fact that I can take videos while I am sick, is again, it shows you folks the real world. Because I mean, again, in all seriousness, when I went backpacking through India, I got brutally sick a few times. I mean, Goa, like I say, Alu Gobi. And again, all those vegans out there, go vegan. Alu Gobi is cauliflower and potatoes on rice, right? About as vegan as you can get. Maybe there's a little ghee in there, but again, if you're in India, there's only so much you can do. Oh my God, that is the worst food poisoning I've ever got in my life. Like literally, it was to the point, my system was so flushed out, I would take a gulp of water, and I swear to you, like within that it was going out the other side. Like at one point, I was literally actually curled up in my shower with the shower running out on me as I just shit myself. Like literally, like it got like because he was like I had food poisoning, and then you keep running out through the toilet and running out through the toilet, and because it had a shower in the room, but the toilet was outside, and then like literally it got to the point I wasn't even strong enough to get out to the toilet, and I just turn the shower on and just curl up and like as the water poured down on me, just crap. But that's the real world, damn it. That's the shit nobody tells you. And then when it happens to you, you're like, what the hell? I'm telling it to you real. I'm the only YouTuber out there that'll tell you about the time they were curled up in a ball, crapping themselves in an Indian shower. But it's real, right? You guys gotta understand. You gotta understand. It was so funny. I was talking to a friend, like one of my old adventuring friends, about that one time. He's like, oh my golly, what'd they do when you got to the hospital? And I was like, hospital? Oh, you poor naive person. I didn't have a hospital. I have no idea. Like literally with that. So what it was, so I had the Aligobi. And I woke up in the morning, wasn't hungry because I felt a little sick. And then I got the pounding headache. And then it started getting worse and worse and worse. And started getting like a little delirious. And so I went out and I bought sodas. And it was so funny because in India at the time, they had all these glass bottles for sodas when you go to like a bar or something. And basically they recycled them, they do a deposit. So I said like, I want like 6 sodas. And they're like, okay, that's weird. And they brought 6 sodas over, and like I took them and I walked away with them. And it was so funny to look at like the restaurant owner's eyes, because it's one of those things where they can't really tell you not to leave with them because you did purchase the bottles. On the other hand, nobody actually does leave with them, and so it's a little way for them to gain a little bit of profit. So they're like, all right, so I take them back. And I'm just feeling worse and worse, and so like I say, I'm drinking the sodas or whatever, and it gets worse, and I'm out there on the toilet, and it gets worse, and I'm out there in the shower. And so finally, by the next day, and it was a type of thing where I would take a drink of water, and it was just through my system. It was just the bizarrest thing in the world. Like it doesn't seem like you should physically even be able to move that fast through the system. And so finally, the next day, I was so delirious, and everything was out of my system. There was just nothing left in my system. And so I stumbled over. There was a pharmacy, and I stumbled over the pharmacy. And it was like, I have diarrhea, and so they gave me these pills. And God bless India pharmacists, because man, they don't screw around. And whatever their pills were, basically all the pill does is it just clamps it up, man. It just clamps it up. Nothing comes out. It's like it's super glues a little plug up there. And so thankfully I was able to then drink some water and drink some liquid. And I made it through. And for a couple of days I was feeling pretty good again. That was one of those times a hospital would have been nice. Hospital really would have been nice right about them. But hey, what are you gonna do? Oh, real adventure. Many times you don't have a hospital. Shockingly, you normally don't have a hospital. But anyways, that's just a little thought there. But it's good to know, like I say. So if you come out here and you're planning to do this stuff in weird countries, just to keep in mind that food poisoning and all that is something to take seriously. And I would say, I mean, that whole, it's the Z-Pack, right, with Cipro and all that. Probably should have brought some before we came. I know with one of our trips, we both had Z-Packs. I think there were Z-Packs with Cipro. I don't know why. I didn't even think about it this time for whatever reason. I think I'm being old. No, it is. I mean, there's this weird thing. Like, it's not old. It's you get complacent. I think I got complacent. They always talk about, like, when I did the emergency services stuff and all that, they would always talk about that, like, with some of the people that you would go out there and rescue in the worst situations. And you'd be like, oh, what the hell? Is this some, weekend backpacker, some chairborne ranger or something? And they'd be like, no, actually. And they show you like the fucking most amazing, like search and rescue resume you've ever seen in your life. And you're like, how the hell, what the hell happened to this Jack? I mean, like, what, aliens came down and ate off his legs or something? And basically what they would say, like 9 times out of 10, it was just fucking complacency. It's like you have this like super trooper or whatever who, you know, thinks, oh, it's not that long of a hike, so I'm not going to take any water with me. And then there's a rainstorm, or there's this, there's that, or they stub their fucking toe or something else. And so instead of it being a 2-hour out and back trip, it turns into a 10-hour out and back trip. And they don't have enough water for 10 hours. They only have enough water for 2 hours. And, right? Complacency. Complacency is the great killer. It really is. It is funny, like I say, like some of the worst scenarios you learn about. And you're just like, we're like amazing people. You're like, how'd that happen to this guy? Ooh, he got complacent. I guess a lesson in life is I got a little complacent this time. Z-Pack. I should be taking some Cipro with me. But anyways, I'm feeling better now. I'm feeling better. Like I say, yesterday was absolutely horrible. Today I'm not feeling great, but I'm feeling better. So hopefully tomorrow I'll feel better still. Then after that, so we're here, it's Monday. So we're here Tuesday full day, Wednesday full day. Well, really, Wednesday full day, and then we leave Thursday 2 o'clock in the morning. So, and then we'll be back in the States. We'll be back in the States. We'll be back to see my fishies and all that kind of stuff. It's gonna be weird to be back in the States. I was looking at the weather, and so here in this area, it's like 100 degrees. It's been like 100 degrees, like constantly for 2 or 3 months or something. And then back in the U.S., it's like 70 degrees. Like in Baltimore, it like maxes at like 70 degrees. So that is going to be a little weird to get used to. It's going to be a little weird. It's like, can we get somewhere in the middle? Well, I'm not saying it needs to be like 90, but can we get like an 80 degrees? But it does show you, like, with this climate and all that, it's really weird. Like, so I'm pretty sure our area of the world is much colder than it normally is, and over here is much hotter than it normally is. That's how it goes. But yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else to say? Look at that. Even when I say I'm not really gonna say that much, I still talk for like 22 minutes. I have no idea how these folks do like 4-minute videos. I really don't. Like, God bless them. That's brilliant. Like, these 4-minute videos, they get in there, they do those jump cuts. They can do a coherent story in 4 minutes. I don't think I can. I just really don't think I can. It's just how it goes. Oh well, anyways, I should probably go, because I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like shit right now. So I should probably keep getting myself healthier. Maybe tomorrow I can do a full length hour-long video. Anything else to say? Anything else to say? Eli says, yeah, I guess the final thought of the day is, if you're over here in any of these Asian countries, definitely take a look at AirAsia. Because again, it is a bargain basement budget airline. On the other hand, when you compare it to trains or minibuses or any of that kind of crap, again, it honestly, when you add it up, is not very much. It's like a few dollars more, and like just an infinite amount less stress, if you know what I'm saying. So with that, talk to you tomorrow.